G'day guys, how's it going? Welcome back of course to the Time Bomb channel, and I hope all is good in your part of the world. Watch review today of the WISHDOIT. This is the WSD 9987 dive style watch, and as you can see it sort of emulates another very famous watch. So yes, if you want to rock a James Cameron, but perhaps you're lacking a spare body part to sell, then this little budget flexor might be a very good option for you. I'm not going to use the word homage to describe this. I'm going to call it a budget flexor instead. Let me just pause the camera so we can zoom in a fraction. All right, so we can see our watch up a little bit closer. And of course, as you will have seen perhaps from the video fractionings, full disclosure on this one, it has been sent to me by the brand. So I get to keep it for a few months, bash it around a little bit and give you some feedback in about 6 months to let you know how it's held up. Now, interesting part with these is that they retail in the UK for just £89 on Amazon. I'm not quite sure how they do it for that amount of money, but I think I'm sort of interested to try myself one day. I'll pop a link down below in the description in case you're interested. Yeah, let's get down to roast this piece of eye candy. So when the brand first approached me, I was a little bit semi-disinterested because I thought the brand name WISHDOIT didn't really do it for me. But then looking at the photos that they sent to me, I changed my mind, primarily because there is no WISHDOIT written on the face of the watch. They've just got the little logo there below the 12. And in addition to that, I think they borrowed some nice features from a few other brands. These do then come in this white, so what should we call this? White mint chalk. I think I might have picked the white if it hadn't had the mint. And then also you've got this black and sand version as well. But again, I think the gradient on this one was just the thing that got me. Let me just clear the background a fraction. So then kicking off with some key specs, we're looking at 40 mils across. It's around 48 mils to the ends of the lugs. But as you can see with those end links, you're going to need to add a couple of mils either side. It's then a very manageable 15 mils deep, and it sits of course then on 20 mil lugs, as you'd probably expect. And notice that that bracelet tapers down from the 20 to the 16 mils as it hits the clasp. You get sapphire up top, and then obviously sapphire insert on that bezel. I'm kind of wondering if they'd gone with an aluminium bezel, it might have fitted fractionally better with the watch, because it would, you know, shine that little bit less. But I do know that some people prefer the sapphires on those bezel inserts because, yeah, it just adds a little bit of classy to it. The bezel then obviously comes with that coin edge, overhangs positively there, so you've got very good purchase area, and it sounds like this. So yeah, super positive clicks on this one, and pretty much, to look through the camera there, it aligns pretty well, and there's very minimal, you know, almost zero wiggle in that. So again, for your £90, you're getting something pretty decent. The only issue with the overhang of the bezel, as I say on there, is that it is quite close to the crown, thus operating that NH35 that you've got inside. Especially if you've got large fingers, you know, you've basically just got to use the tips of your fingers to get in there. The action though is pretty decent, you know, probably standard. There's a little bit of wiggle there, but again, I'm imagining that most people who are buying one of these, you know, won't be worried about that. And again, for the price point that you're paying, you're not necessarily looking for that ultimate preciseness. But as I say, you do get, as I say, your fingernail just links into that bezel there, bezel knurling there as you're re-engaging the crown. What else? So you're getting kind of the usual package, I think, that sort of, you know, they pack more into it than many other brands. And the reason that I picked this particular is obviously that mysterious gradient blue. Yes, as I say, you'll have seen that dialed color elsewhere, but you've probably not been able to afford it. And I think overall they've done a pretty good job of it. Sorry, there's that little smidge on that bezel at the top there is really annoying me. think it must have come from the taking off the stickies. That's it. It's better now. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, nice little bit of contrasting text on the automatic, and that green then is also then reflected over on the framing of the date window. We see that white minute track around there, you know, super clear with those blocked hour markers and blocky hands as well. I mean, legibility wise, it is very, very good. Notice as well the ends of that seconds hand there just gets to the edge of the minute track, but you can still see it clear enough. Yeah, so obviously, as we can see on the dial as well, then you get 150 meters worth of watery goodness, kind of an odd choice. A little bit like a diver who can swim but needs those floaties just in case. But again, you know, most brands would go for a 50 meters or 100 meters. So again, you're getting a fraction more to your water resistance there as well. As I say, you know, notice the bezel markings as well. You can just see where there's a couple of aspects where, you know, they've obviously had to sort of spend their money elsewhere. You know, I think they could have just made those bezel markings, you know, uniform as they have done here with this particular one. But anyway, you know, teeny tiny touches for them to consider for the future. The bracelet has sort of got that hollow links energy to it. It's clearly the place where I think they've made the most cost savings. I mean, it looks good. The finishing is nice on the outside, but it is a little bit too loose and jangly. Some tolerances there that I think, again, might need adjusting. The clasp is fairly decent. You do need to get your nail underneath there to open it up, but everything on the inside looks pretty decent. And found any issues there. The only thing to note for you, of course, is that your micro adjusts are actually on the inside, so not external. So if you're looking for them out there and you say that there aren't any, they are here inside. As I say, bracelet, I mean, it's not too bad, but I think, yeah, the biggest issue for me is just around those tolerances. Now, I was going to talk about this later, but I think I'll talk about it now. And I think one of the reasons why the tolerances are not that great is because of that large male end link there. So as a consequence, let me show you on wrist what happens with that is that you get those additional shoulders created by the first links on the bracelet either side there. They just stand out way too much, and I think that just creates too much space between these two sets of links here. Whereas if they'd gone with a female end link there, it would have dropped down and sat a little bit closer. Again, we're talking about a £90 watch again, so measure expectations. The loom on here is really not that bad at all. I think it pops with a really, really nice, pleasing blue. Good to see that the bezel is loomed, but notice also that the bezel seems brighter than the hands. So yeah, you get that little bit of white shine off the white minute track as well. But I'll say, all in all, pretty good loom for 90 quid. So what messages do I have the brand have for the brand? Also, I forgot to show you, you get a little sailing ship engraving on the back there, obviously again with your relative details, and then obviously you've got your spring bars there into change. So no drilled lugs again, but there's enough access area there to pop in. I haven't tried any other straps on this yet. I'll do that when I do a long-term review. So again, messages for the brand. I think the brand name needs that little bit of a rethink. People need to identify with the name of their brand watch. Well, I do. It makes a big difference. And I think they've sort of recognized that by removing the brand name from the dial and just putting the little logo here that you also then find on your crown. I think the design being a bit generic is that, and I hope they can come up with something in the future that adds some variety into an already full marketplace of budget flexors. There's lots and lots of budget flexors out there, you know, led by brands like Pagani and Invicta. So if they want to stand out, then just do, you know, add some flavors to the design that's not just emulating everyone else. I think the bracelet needs a little bit of work. As I say, that's the one area I think at the moment where I've seen, you know, the biggest weakness. But again, a lot of people may not have those issues that I have. The best bits, I think it gives off some interestingly luxury diver vibes. If someone isn't a watch nerd, they might just assume that you've dropped a decent amount of cash on one of these and they'll be very impressed. And I think there's the rub. For £90, under £90, the price is making it accessible to most people. And they seem to be able to cram a whole lot into a watch for the price of less than £90. Am I going to wear it? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's quite fun. As I say, the gradient blue black on this really looks nice outside as well. I'm going to wear it, as I say, 6 to 8 months, give it a proper bashing just to see how it holds up, because to me, that's kind of the area with these lower price point watches is, can they stand up to the knocks and wear of daily use, and thus make them worthwhile to us as watch punters. Anyway, that's a wrap, guys. Massive thanks to the guys at WISHDOIT for the loan of this one. Be interesting to see what it looks like in a couple of months, and as I say, I'll do that follow-up vid. Thanks to you guys for your time and for your view, and we'll catch you all in the next watch vid. Cheers now.